The restaurant was quiet enough to hear the polished silver against porcelain. Laughter from other tables blurred into a hollow murmur, the kind you notice only when silence grips your own. "Just try a little of this soup," my wife insisted, sliding the bowl closer, her tone sweet, too sweet. My daughter smiled faintly and scooped a spoonful before I could answer. I remember her eyes, bright, unguarded, trusting. 5 minutes later, the sound tore through the air, a scream, then a collapse. Her body convulsed against the marble floor, small fists trembling before going limp. My pulse turned to ice, my lungs locked, my legs moved on instinct. Shouts rose, chairs scraped, and the room spiraled into chaos. We rushed to the hospital. The fluorescent lights there were colder, crueler than anything I had ever known. When the doctor finally spoke, his words were deliberate, practiced. Severe allergic reaction, deliberate exposure. I turned to my wife. She didn't cry, she didn't even flinch, just pressed her lips into a thin line and stared at the floor. Something inside me split, a fissure, silent, irreversible. I replayed it in my head while my daughter slept beneath machines. The soup, the insistence, the way she pushed it toward her like a dare. She knew. There was no other explanation. My daughter's allergy wasn't a secret. Years of carrying EpiPens, years of careful menus, years of warnings. She knew. My wife was the one who reminded teachers, relatives, even strangers. She was meticulous, too meticulous to forget. So why that night? Why then? I studied her face as she sat in the plastic chair beside me. Calm, almost serene. Not the expression of a mother who nearly lost her child. Her phone vibrated in her purse. She reached for it too quickly, glanced, then turned it over on her lap. That small flicker in her eyes, it wasn't fear, it was calculation. And in that moment, I saw it clearly. This wasn't negligence, it was intent. A betrayal so deep it no longer bled, it poisoned. I began quietly, no accusations, no raised voice. Silence was my weapon. Her phone was the first crack. Passwords don't hold against patience. I waited until she slept, the rise and fall of her breath steady, feigned. I lifted it from the nightstand, steady hands betraying the chaos inside. The messages were clinical at first. Numbers, transactions, then words. The kind of words lovers use when they think no one else can see. Him, always him. And there, hidden in a thread from weeks ago, "Once she's gone, we're free." My throat dried as I read it again. My daughter's name followed in the next line, typed casually, like a disposable inconvenience. I didn't wake her, didn't scream. I just placed the phone back and let the darkness swallow me whole. Days passed. I moved through them like a ghost. My daughter healed, unaware of the storm circling her bed. My wife carried on, her mask flawless, her laughter rehearsed. She kissed my cheek at the hospital. She spoke of plans for when things returned to normal. Normal. But I was cataloging everything. Her calls, her meetings, her transactions. Piece by piece, the puzzle formed. This wasn't just infidelity. It was an attempted erasure. And I, her chosen fool, was the obstacle she hadn't yet removed. The final piece came in an envelope. A private investigator doesn't ask questions when paid enough. He delivers. Photos, bank transfers, a hotel receipt with her signature beside another man's. But it was the video, grainy, captured on a cheap lens, that carved into me deepest. Her hand in his, her voice low, whispering the plan like a promise. My daughter's allergy named as the weapon. I sat across from her that evening. The house was still, our daughter asleep upstairs, safe for now. I slid the envelope across the table. No words. She opened it, glanced at the photos, and her skin drained pale. Her breath hitched. She reached for explanations, but they died before leaving her throat. I just watched, cold, detached. Her mask cracked, and I saw her for what she was, hollow. "I know," I said finally, voice level, almost gentle. She shook her head, denial spilling from her lips in broken fragments. I didn't argue. Instead, I placed my phone on the table, thumb pressing play. Her own voice filled the room, her own words plotting my daughter's death. The sound gutted her more than any scream I could give. Her eyes widened. She tried to grab the phone, but I pulled it back slowly, savoring the panic. "I've already sent copies," I whispered. "Police, lawyers, family." Her mouth fell open. No tears came, just silence, the kind that chokes. I stood, leaving her crumbling at the table, the weight of her own betrayal crushing her. For the first time, she had no control, and that was my revenge. The house feels quieter now, empty in a way that is almost comforting. My daughter breathes softly in her room, unaware of the war that ended before she could see it. I don't miss her mother. I don't hate her either. Hatred is too heavy, and she isn't worth the weight. What lingers is clarity, a sharpened edge I never had before. Betrayal burns away illusions, leaving only truth. And the truth is simple. I will never let her near us again. I closed the door that night, not with anger, but with precision. Final, irreversible, like a surgeon's cut, clean, merciless, necessary.